Hello and welcome to World News Updates. This is Sanjana and let's get into the updates. Trump allies want to move Georgia state criminal case to federal court, but why? Election observer missions have highlighted problems with Zimbabwe's election, including violence and intimidation, and have said it did not meet international standards. The Kremlin said Western suggestions that Russian Wagner mercenary boss Evgeny Prigozhin had been killed on its orders in a plane crash were an absolute lie, while declaiming and to definitively confirm his death, citing the need to wait for the test results. Pakistan's caretaker Prime Minister Anwar ul Haq Kakar honors the specialist discipliners who were drafted into the led the rescue mission to recover 8 people stuck in a cable car at a ceremony in Islamabad. Hundreds of South Koreans gathered in Seoul to protest against the release of wastewater from the crippled Fukushima nuclear reactor. Meanwhile, seawater samples taken following to the release of wastewater from the crippled Fukushima nuclear reactor showed recording activity levels well within safe limits, operator TEPCO said on Friday. Spanish police seized a record 9.5 tons of cocaine hidden among boxes of bananas in a shipping container from Ecuador in the southern port of Algeciras. The starch was the largest ever found in a single container in Spain, the police said. The Federal Reserve may need to raise interest rates further to ensure inflation is contained, Fed Chair Jerome Powell had said. Spanish Sports Secretary Victor Franco says that the forced decades affair was the Me Too of Spanish football, a few hours after Luis Rubiales refused to resign as president of the Spanish Football Association.
Y por lo tanto el gobierno quiere advertir de eso, quiere ser muy contundente a la hora de decir que hay cosas que no pueden volver a pasar y me dejarán que con emoción, porque lo hago sinceramente con mucha emoción, que les pida, sin haber hecho nada y sin sentirme culpable de nada, pero como responsable del deporte español, que les pida disculpas a las jugadoras, porque no merecen del fútbol español y de que esto sea un cambio. Y por lo tanto el gobierno quiere advertir de eso, quiere ser muy contundente a la hora de decir que hay cosas que no pueden volver a pasar y me dejarán que con emoción, porque lo hago sinceramente con mucha emoción, que les pida, sin haber hecho nada y sin sentirme culpable de nada, pero como responsable del deporte español, que les pida disculpas a las jugadoras, porque no merecen del fútbol español y de que esto sea un cambio. Y por lo tanto el gobierno quiere advertir de eso, quiere ser muy contundente a la hora de decir que hay cosas que no pueden volver a pasar y me dejarán que con emoción, porque
On Friday, the Danish government unveiled a draft that might outlaw public Quran burning. The action sends an important political signal to the rest of the globe, according to Danish Foreign Minister Lars and local Rasmussen on Danish radio.
spread anger in Muslim countries. The country stepped up its security earlier this month following the backlash. Denmark's Justice Minister said that the government intends to criminalize the improper treatment of objects of religious importance to a religious community.
Ytringsfriheden er en grundlæggende rettighed og en grundpille i det danske demokrati. Derfor har regeringen ønsket et afgrænset og præcist lovindgreb. Regeringen vil derfor fremsætte et lovforslag, som forbyder utilbørlig behandling af genstande med væsentlig religiøs betydning for et trossamfund. Og lovforslaget vil på den måde gøre det strafbart, hvis man for eksempel offentligt afbrænder Koranen, Bibelen eller Toraen.
The new legislation will be included in Chapter 12 of Denmark's Penal Code, which covers national security. The proposed Danish legislation would also apply to desecrations of the Bible, the Torah, or, for example, a crucifix. Those who break the law risk a fine or up to 2 years in prison. The law will, however, include verbal or written expressions offensive to religious communities, including the caricatures. This will not be included. Now, the legislation, which is due to be presented to the Parliament of the 1st of September, comes 6 years after Denmark abolished its 334-year-old blasphemy law, which prohibited the act of insulting or showing contempt to a deity or sacred objects. The bill is expected to pass through Parliament, where the left-right government holds a majority. Along with Denmark, Sweden also found itself in international spotlight following the anti-Islam protests. Sweden has also vowed to explore legal means of stopping protests involving the burning of holy texts in certain circumstances. A Scandinavian nation, which sparked widespread anger in Muslim countries. The country stepped up its security earlier this month following the backlash. Denmark's Justice Minister said that the government intends to criminalize the improper treatment of objects of religious importance to a religious community.
Ytringsfriheden er en grundlæggende rettighed og en grundpille i det danske demokrati. Derfor har regeringen ønsket et afgrænset og præcist
Syrians protest against President Bashar al-Assad's government in the Dara province town of Bosra al-Zahan, openly calling for an end to Assad's rule. Dara was the cradle of the 2011 uprising, which Assad bloodily suppressed, triggering more than a decade of civil war, which was killed more than 1 million people and driven millions more from their homes. After a week of widespread outrage over his unsociated kiss on the lips of player Jenny, her smoke following Spain's Women's World Cup triumph, Spanish football chief Luis Rubiales slams negative media coverage of his actions as false feminist, and despite being widely expected to step down, Rubiales shouts, "I will not resign. I will not resign. I will not resign." Yet people assembled for an emergency meeting of the Spanish Football Federation.
Viendo otra cosa en muchos de los medios, tanto los que están dominados o rindiendo pleitesía al señor Tebas, como los que están rindiendo pleitesía al falso feminismo, que es una gran lacra en este país. Aquí no se está tratando de hacer justicia, eso es falso. Se está ejecutando un asesinato social. A mí se me está tratando de matar. ¿Pero creen ustedes que eso es para sufrir la cacería que estoy sufriendo? ¿Sinceramente lo creen? Otra cosa es lo que uno tenga que decir públicamente, pero ¿ustedes creen que es para esta cacería? ¿Para que pidan mi dimisión? ¿Es tan grave como para que yo me vaya habiendo hecho la mejor gestión de la historia del fútbol español? ¿Ustedes creen que tengo que dimitir? Pues les voy a decir algo. No voy a dimitir. 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 Ni menos. Aunque se esté vendiendo otra cosa en muchos de los medios, tanto los que están dominados o rindiendo pleitesía al señor Tebas, como los que están rindiendo pleitesía al falso feminismo, que es una gran lacra.
International poll observers see Zimbabwe's presidential and legislative elections failed to conform the regional and international standards, casting doubt on the credibility of a tense vote. The head of the EU observer mission, Fabio Massimo Costaldo, says the election fell short on key principles of equality, universality, and transparency and accountability. Is that
international standards, including key principles of equality, universality, transparency, and accountability. The election was also hampered by significant issues regarding the independence and the transparency of the Zimbabwe Electoral Commission, ZEC. The ZEC missed opportunities to increase public trust in the integrity of voting and to result management. International standards, including key principles of equality, universality, transparency, and accountability.
protesters gathered outside the Japanese Prime Minister's office in Tokyo on Friday to demonstrate against the release of the treated and radioactive water from the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear plant. Vice President Kamala Harris led a White House celebration Friday for the 2022 WNBA champion Las Vegas Aces, praising the team for its grit and determination on the court and for being role models and leaders outside of the arena.
So today we celebrate a group of leaders that define excellence in every way. Aces owner Mark Davis, team president Nikki Fargas, the coaches, and especially, of course, the players. The winners of the 2022 WNBA Championship, the Las Vegas Aces. So it was only 5 years ago that this franchise moved to Las Vegas from San Antonio. And now they are the first major professional sports team in Nevada history to win a championship. And that's because this team defines grit and determination. And all of this leadership, of course, is part of a larger story, and it is the story of the WNBA. The WNBA is more than a basketball league. You inspire our young people and people across our nation to dream with ambition. You are living the truth that women belong in every room and on every court. And all of that is to say,
Right, these are from World News Updates. For latest updates, keep watching CVR English with Sanjna.